Yo, what's up? We are now at highway, or is this highway 7? I actually don't know. But yes, we are on the way from Gol back to Oslo. And I figured maybe I should have another rant. It's been a long time since I had a rant. So yes, this rant is going to be a little bit about Norway, Thailand, yeah, a little mix of everything. You'll get the idea once I start talking. So yes, I will start about mentioning Thailand because I made a video ranting about, or more like bitching about, oh man, Norway sucks right now because it's just cold and dark and slippery. Yeah. So you know the drill, right? And then some people, they get butthurt and they be like, oh no, Bjørn, if Norway is so bad, why don't you just move to Thailand permanently? You're gonna see how good it is over there. I'd be like, dude, bro, where you been for the last 8 months? I mean, for the last 8 years. So a little bit of clarification here for you guys, all them noobs in my channel who doesn't know what shit's going on. I love Norway, right? You get that? I love Norway, except for when there's winter in Norway. So just think back to the nice road trip I had with wifey last summer. Yeah, you know what I did last summer. I went to Åndalsnes, we had some barbecue, went up the mountain. Norwegian landscape is freaking beautiful. The air is clean, the mountains are beautiful, the waterfalls, everything. The landscape is just breathtaking. And also in summer, we have long days, long nights. It's just wonderful. But that's kind of where it ends, right? Because winter is the complete opposite. It's just dark, gray, slippery, snowy, freezing, and yeah, it's Highway 7, yeah. And tends to be some storm shit going on also, like nowadays. So, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I said, I like Norway. I also like Thailand because I was born in Thailand. But hey, how about we have a little bit of both, huh? So that's why I figured out that I don't have to deal with this shit. I can just go to Thailand during winter when it's cold and dark here. I mean, I don't do skiing or anything like that, so I'm not into that. So that's why I'm not missing out on ski activity anyway if I'll be staying in Norway during winter. But on the other hand, yeah, so some people might be thinking, yeah, but why don't you just move to Thailand permanently? Well, do I really want to do that? Because Thailand, okay, I'm going to learn, watch this video and you might learn a thing or two about Thailand. So Thailand is a nice country to have a vacation in, but I wouldn't live permanently in Thailand. So where do I start? The government in Thailand is just corrupted. Everyone knows that. So maybe not as corrupted as other Asian countries, but in that regard, yes, Thailand is actually better in than some other countries, but it's still corrupted. Yeah, I don't know how much it is and all that, but from what I heard is like, yeah. So anyway, what else? And then we have the pollution. So the worst part is the burning season. That usually starts around March, April, May. Then they just burn shit. It's just I kind of understand them because in Thailand when you get leaf, right? You get leaf and grass. Where are you supposed to put it? Well, it's not like in Norway where you can go to a Grønmo or Haraldrud recycling facility and turn in your biomass grass for free, and then they will make soil and the fertilizer from it. That's great. In Thailand, you don't have that shit. So what do? They burn it. But also, it goes beyond that. Some idiots, they just light up forest fire for no reason. So, and the government, again, talking about the government, they are not too strict about it. They say, we're going to crack down on that shit. But they don't. They are not too strict about it. They should put people in jail for creating forest fire. So that's the problem. And then, of course, the burning creates PM levels. Hey, guess what? We also have burning in Norway. That's also another part of my rant, by the way. Why the heck do we burn wood in Norway? We are such a high developed country in Norway. We have heat pumps, we have solar panels, we have clean energy. Did you know that Norway has wait, shit, I need to turn on the ND filter. Sorry for that. Oh shit, I need to lock focus also. This shit also happened. Sorry for that. Okay, anyway, enjoy the nice bouquet until I can lock focus. But actually focus tends to slip. I use manual focus many times, but you've seen in my videos, I lock focus, but it seems like it tends to slip, and then I don't notice it until it's too late, and because the screen is kind of small. Okay, let me see. But I'm gonna try to lock focus now. Okay, it locked. But anyway, yeah, Norway. Think about this. Norwegians, they're rich, filthy rich bastards. They can afford heat pump, or they can just afford using electric heating. New houses they build in Norway, they are by law. They need to be Tech 17, they need to be efficient. We don't need to use that much heat for keeping the houses nice and warm. But still, Norwegians, they love to burn wood. Why is that? Why do they want to burn wood? Well, nowadays, the electricity is expensive. Yes, I understand. People be like, hey, Bjørn, get off your high horse. No, dude, I could also burn wood, but I don't. I could have burned wood 10 years ago when I was a poor bastard, but I didn't. I just use electricity because it's more convenient. You don't have to deal with chopping wood and then bringing it in and then burning it, and then what you do with the ashes. It's so inconvenient. Why is it that people criticize EV for being inconvenient? Because you have to plug it in, but then they burn wood, which is more inconvenient than driving an EV, right? So again, I forgot to mention, so Norway, the electricity in Norway, 96% of the electricity in Norway comes from hydropower, clean energy, and then 2% from wind, I think, and then 2% from muscle power, or I think it was coal or something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember what it was. But so there is really no reason to burn wood in Norway, right? Okay, nowadays maybe you can burn some wood because the electricity is so expensive. But once this electricity crisis is over, then stop burning wood in Norway, right? You can see, I should make an episode about that. I can bring the PM meter and I can go in the valley in Norway, and you can see when it's cold, the smoke, the pollution just stays in the valley because it's too cold for it to rise up. That's not good, man. That's not good. So anyway, okay, enough ranting at the burning. I hurt so many people's feelings now. All the Norwegians, they go, men det är ju bra, det är koselig då, koselig då. Okay, all right. I'm gonna shut up now, right? Okay, anyway. There is no denying that burning wood is bad for the environment anyway, rather than using heat pump or electricity. How are you gonna try to discuss that or argue against that? Anyway, yeah, so Thailand, pollution, crime levels, everything there is, worse than Norway, no doubt about it. Again, there is no need to discuss it even. And also, what else? Yeah, the weather. So roughly from April, it just gets really hot in Thailand. I don't want to be there. It's just unbearably hot. Maybe in Chiang Dao it kind of works, but still. So ideally, and then afterwards it will be the rain season, and also there's more power outage in Thailand versus Norway. So again, the electricity in Norway is super stable. You might have a power outage once every 3 to 5 years, roughly as often as the Tesla mobile app is down. That's how super stable the grid in Norway is. But in Thailand, I guess it's a different story. So, yeah, by the way, I should also mention, by the way, I have solar now in Thailand. But because I don't have battery, then actually by law, if there is a power outage, one cannot simply run the PV to feed the house. You cannot do that in a power outage unless you have a local battery. then you can run it on the battery while during an outage. But the people, Bjørn, get battery. No, it's too freaking expensive. It's not worth it. It's not critical for Amher's parents to be able to wash clothes or watch TV during a power outage. If I was living there, maybe, yeah, but other than that, no. So anyway, so why wouldn't that? Why are we driving so slow here? Are you gonna exit? You're gonna exit, right? Please tell me you're gonna. Oh yeah, dankeschön. Let me just speed up here a little bit. Barely legal. That's my middle name. So I wouldn't want to live in Thailand permanently, but on the other hand, I wouldn't mind staying there roughly between November. Yeah, roughly from November. Yeah, October, November, December. Perfect in Thailand. And also around January, February, also perfect in Thailand. We will have sunny days, sunny almost every day. You know, it was funny when, I went to Thailand, I have to change ND filter. You know, it's funny. When I was doing range tests and stuff in Thailand, I mean, when I do range tests in Norway, I have to check the weather forecast. Let me see, I need to find a day with some nice weather. Cloudy, okay, sunny, even better, not too cold. In Thailand, during December, January, I didn't have to check weather forecast because the weather was super stable. It was just nice every day. Yeah. So that's why I love Thailand during the winter months in Norway. It's perfect. It is just perfect because once the weather and the landscape and stuff and the daylight starts sucking in Norway, it's perfect in Thailand for the 2-3 months. And then Thailand started getting hot around April. Then it's perfect for Norway. But then, of course, I can't stay in Thailand for 4 months at a time. That's too long. But at least 2 months at a time. That would be great. So yes, don't worry. Have I moved to Thailand? Yes. You know, it's funny. Every time I go to Thailand, I sell Millennium Falcon. I sell the house. I sell the dog, and I keep the wife. And then we move to Thailand. And then we stay there. Yes, did you move to Thailand? Yes, I moved to Thailand. And then I buy a house and I buy a car in Thailand. And then I stay there. And then stay there a couple of months. And then I sell the house and car in Thailand. And then I move back to Norway. And then I buy back Millennium Falcon and buy back the house. That's how it works. Then I move back to Norway. Yeah, people are butthurt, but remember, this is a rant. Don't take everything seriously, all right? Chill, take a chill pill, guys. So, yeah, but anyway, so that's how it is in Thailand versus Norway. So, of course, and then you might be asking, but why don't you move to, why are you even living in Norway if you don't like it? Well, I just don't like the winter. I'm fed up with winter. But does it mean that if I don't like the winter, does it mean that I'm not allowed to stay here? I shouldn't stay here? Or why are you staying here? Right? It's just that some people are just patriots. I don't know what the heck is wrong with them. They can't take any criticism. Because if every time I criticize parts of the car, let's say this Mercedes, oh shit, the user interface is stupid, or navigation is kind of silly, it doesn't preheat at the desired charging stop I want to. You know, people don't say, why do you even test that car? Why don't you test a Tesla instead? You know, isn't that kind of, what, start vitality program? No, man, Mercedes keep bugging me about the vitality program shit. Yeah, but you see, if I criticize something else, people, they don't say anything. But then if I criticize Norway, the country they love, then they are being all defensive. Oh, shit. Oh, but man, I can't wait for Norway to become better in a couple of months. Usually from March, it becomes better and better. Now it's actually also better. I already skipped the worst part, which is December and the beginning of January, right around New Year. That shit is just dark and yeah, sad. But of course, if you like skiing, then go ahead. It's wonderful, and yeah. So And then, but you know, and then also why am I even living in Norway? Because you know, yes, Bjørn, you're a YouTuber now. You can live anywhere you want. Yes, you know what? Do we have any Germans here? I bet we have. Actually, last year I was thinking about, yeah, why do you have to live in Norway? Why can't I just live in another country, in Europe, for example? And now the first country I was thinking was Helga country, Deutschland. Yeah, yes. All the Germans be like, oh, danke schön, oh, we love you, ich liebe dich, something. I don't know. But yeah, why not? Why do you have to live in Norway? Well, then I have to learn another language, German. And is it nice there? Oh shit, I forgot to turn on the ND again. Okay, whatever, another tunnel. But I think the social welfare and the crime levels and pretty much Norway is a very good country to live in. Yeah, just put it that way. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. We don't have to discuss it too far. And also, a great advantage with Norway is that we have very good charging network. We have also like pretty much all the new EVs, it's coming to Norway first. Like NIO is here first. The first swap station in Europe is in Norway, Lier. It's open already. Yes, I'm gonna test it. We're gonna break the record, a 1,000 kilometer challenge soon. But yes, so it makes sense to be located in Norway, because if I move to Deutschland just to have some bratwurst and yeah, see Helga, then I'll probably have to be invited over to events in Norway anyway, right? So it makes sense to be located actually in Oslo also. But however, what about Thailand? You know, Thailand is probably the one country in that part of Asia that is going to develop like crazy. Take a look at PlugShare. Go to PlugShare, please. And then go to Thailand and look at all those crazy charging networks that have popped up like mushrooms lately. It's been going like crazy. Just 2 years ago, Thailand was nothing when it comes to EV. They had a shitty charging network like Norway had 8 years ago when I started driving around with Millennium Falcon. That's pretty much what Thailand was 2 years ago. Thailand right now is roughly, I don't know, I would say just 2-3 years behind Norway. They start rolling out high power chargers even, and they're building fast like crazy. And they're also introducing more and more EVs to the market. Do you guys know that the BMW iX is already out in Thailand? Customers in Thailand already took delivery of it. I think you guys even saw it. One iX was getting wrapped at the Lamina Film. So, and they have Taycans over there. They're gonna get BMW i4 or BMW iX3 is already available there. Because the European cars are not there yet. But a good thing about Thailand is that they tend to get the Chinese cars before many European countries get, like the Aura Good Cat. And yeah, I don't know about other cars, maybe VinFast. Yeah, you know, VinFast is a new brand from Vietnam. Yeah, and they are making EVs. So if they would make a diesel version of the VinFast, it would be called Vin Diesel. Okay, anyway, no, but you see, so Thailand might actually be getting some cool cars coming out, or they might come out about the same time as Norway or Europe. So there is actually an advantage also sometimes to go to Thailand and review cars over there. And I'm also building up the channel over there, and I believe that Thailand in a couple of years will be pretty class leading in Asia, and that part of Asia, when it comes to EV development. So it is, of course, somewhat important for me to also have my presence there. And you guys probably have no idea what was going on for the past 1.5 months I was in Thailand. I have established plenty of connections. I established connection with BMW over there in Thailand. I already have connection with MG. It's not too important for you guys. I established connection with Great Wall Motors. I went to visit them. They were super happy to meet me. I was super happy to meet them. I also established connection with the electricity company, PA. And also, yeah, they also have PA Volta. They also have a charging network. And also Alexa, which is EGAT. EGAT is the company, or also the governmental stuff that owns the power plants in Thailand. And then PA is the provincial electricity authority that is then selling the electricity and taking care of how it is again, the transportation of the electricity. So PA and EGAT, they also have charging networks in Thailand, and the same with Patata, which is the biggest gas station chain in Thailand, which is also owned by the government. They also have a charging network there. So, you know, when people say the Thai government doesn't want to support EVs, that is actually incorrect. They do support EVs by making these companies that are owned by the government and building charging network like crazy. And as of now, PA Volta, which is one of the charging networks, they have ridiculously low price on charging. It costs either 4 baht per kilowatt hour or 7.7 baht per kilowatt hour, depending on if it's the off-peak or on-peak. And that translates to only around 12 euro cents to 15 euro cents per kilowatt hour. It is super cheap. And actually during Christmas, and during New Year, they had a low rate, like a promotion, only 4 baht, roughly 4 baht per kilowatt hour for the whole day and night. Cheap price, yeah. And of course, there's no doubt that that low price was it was subsidized by the government. I'm actually just assuming this, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, because I also talked to PA. I've been connecting with them, and they also agree that, you know, that price is way too low. And I said, yeah, it needs to be at least 2-3 times higher, maybe 4 times higher in the future, when they wanted to make it, when they want to break even. And right now they are losing money on every charging session over there, but that's how it works, right? And also the Patata stations, they call it EV station or whatever, they are just free for now. That's also how it was in Norway. I remember ABB chargers and stuff, and many places fast chargers were free. They were just giving out free electricity. Also Salto, they had the Type 2 I was using back in the days. It was also free for the longest time. But then eventually, of course, they had to charge money for it. But yeah, so anyway, a little bit of ranting back and forth here, not too structured. But what I'm saying is that during my stay in Thailand, I established lots of important connections. I need to establish more connections with Thai companies and other organizations in Thailand, because I want to help them develop EVs. And like, I look at the charging apps in Thailand. It was a big mess, and I gave input. I actually had some Zoom meeting with PA, and they were listening to me about how they should change the app to become better and more user-friendly and stuff. And a little teaser, apparently they managed to get plug and charge to work with a 50 kilowatt ABB charger. Supposedly it will read the VIN and it's supposed to work with it. So I'm like, huh, really? I just saw a glimpse of a video. I need to test it. So that would be interesting. It means that they are actually ahead of Norway, huh? How about that? So yeah, that needs to be tested. Plug to charge. Like, is it even working in Europe yet? We heard about it that Taycan might be the first car to get it to work with Ioniq, but that's pretty much it, right? Okay, so long rant. How long has it been now? Oh shit, 24 minutes. Okay. But interesting. But again, okay, let me just remind you guys that no, I'm not moving to Thailand, but of course I will have my presence in Thailand, and I want to also make more and more content in Thailand. I have a Thai channel, in case you guys don't know, and I'm being recognized more and more often now in Thailand. People come up to me and they, hey, yo, Bjørn, or they don't, it's called Tam, yeah. My nickname is Tam in Thailand, but they call me Kon Tam, yeah. So, and they, from the feedback I heard, many of them, they are very happy that I'm just happy to be from Thailand, and I'm creating content in Thai to educate and encourage Thai people to switch to electric. I already met many people who watch my videos and then they decide to buy an MG or a Good Cat or a Taycan or something, Tesla, because they were watching my videos and they were convinced that electric is the way to go. And I should also mention, by the way, because this is also something that many Falang don't know about, is that they automatically assume that in Thailand the electricity is dirty. So even if we switch to electric cars, it's still not going to help because the energy comes from coal. Well, actually, if you look on Wikipedia, you will see that we only have one coal power plant left. It's outside of Lampang in the north of Thailand, and they are planning on phasing it out by the time by 2030 supposedly. But mainly in Thailand, 65% of the electricity is from, hang on, I have to do some hammering here, is from gas power plants. Gas power plants are way more efficient. I talked to a guy who used to work for EGAT. Remember, EGAT is the company that creates they have the power plants. He knows a thing or two about power plants. He could tell me that gas power plants, they are way more efficient than coal, because the way, I don't know how, he explained that they can, with a gas power plant, you have one cycle of energy generation, but then from the leftover steam you can run it in a second cycle or something to create even more electricity. So he claimed that the efficiency on gas power plant was as high as 60%, whereas coal power plant, they have only 30% efficiency. And not only that, but the coal power plant, they emit sulfur and other shits, whereas gas power plants are way cleaner. So that's that argument that falls dead. We can just drop that shit now. So there's no need to to talk shit about Thailand when it comes to dirty electricity, at least. But also, we have like the big project that Hoover Dam, I was about to say, but we have that. There is this hydro dam in Isan, in the west, in the eastern part of Thailand, where they recently added a whole bunch of floating solar panels. So it becomes a solar panel farm over there. That's just one project, and who knows how many other projects Thailand is working on. Thailand is actually working on creating cleaner electricity in Thailand, and also. Solar panels or solar is getting more and more common in Thailand. Thai people are more aware of it, and they are getting more and more solar. I see it on. If you actually go on Google Maps, you can zoom in and you can see on some rooftops on companies they have solar panels. In Thailand, in Chiang Mai, for example, I think it was Index Living Mall. Yeah, Index Living Mall has solar panels on the roof, for example, whereas Central Festival, unfortunately, doesn't have it. They should. But you see, I actually want to mention something. You know, up until now, I haven't really cared about solar in Norway. Because we have so cheap electricity. Well, up until now, it's been freaking expensive lately. I don't know why. It has something to do with the Nord Pool. You know, it's based on the European energy market. But for Norway, like until now, I consider it not economically okay to get solar panels in Norway, because we in general have cheap electricity. However, for the better good, I think it actually pays off, or it has a benefit to install solar even in Norway, because you know, Norway, they already proposed a change of rule that it was supposed to happen actually in 2022 now, New Year, that we will have, they call it effect tariff. All right. You know, I've been trying to convince people to not mix kilowatt and kilowatt hour, and now it makes sense to not mix them up, because up until now you have to pay for kilowatt hour, the energy you spend, but eventually you have to pay for kilowatt also, peak power. If you spend a lot of peak power, for example, charging your car while cooking or while doing something else, and the peak power goes through the roof, then you have to pay like a penalty, a higher fee. So you want to have your kilowatt lower, even though your kilowatt hour per month might be high. You know what I mean? Oh man, the car in front of me just squirted at me. Shit. So then it suddenly makes sense to use Tibber to try to shave off the peaks. And then it makes sense to use solar to, again, shave off the peaks, or even better if you have local battery storage. But why is Norway suddenly introducing this power-based tariff? Well, because they realize that eventually the grid might take a beating on it, because everyone just trying to charge at the same time in the afternoon after they come home while they're cooking and heating up coffee. Then the grid might suffer. So by introducing solar panel on more and more homes in Norway, you will take load off the grid, and you will also be charging your EV on local power, instead of maybe sometimes you have to import dirty electricity from other countries like Poland. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding, Pavel. Okay. Yeah. So suddenly it makes sense to actually get solar in Norway. So you think about this. If every house in Norway has solar panels, it means that there will be less load on the grid. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. And that means that you as a user don't have to worry about too high peak power, and the grid is safe, right? So I think that's a good solution. And also the solar panels are getting better and better, and they're getting more efficient and more and cheaper. So I think that's the way to go. Now, the reason why I don't go for regular solar panels in the new house is that I kind of care for the aesthetics, and I want to try solar roof, even though it's more expensive and maybe less efficient and all that. But okay, I want to see how it goes. I have conventional solar panels in Thailand, remember? So we're gonna see. Wait, can I overtake? No, I can't. Oh shit, no hammering. Oh shit. So yeah, and you know, suddenly I just realized that solar doesn't make that much sense in Norway for regular homes if you don't own an EV, because you will be producing something, okay, and you run it on the heater and whatever. But once you have EV and you have solar, it's like a synergy effect. It goes hand in hand. You'll be like, oh, I can fuel my EV on solar power, right? So it's like an incentive for getting solar because you have EV, or the other way around. If you get solar, it's an incentive to get EV, because then you can run the EV on local power. Clean, silent, beautiful. Yeah, okay, I'm just trying to overtake this fossil. You see this lady, she has to drive so slow because she's trying to save fuel. Yeah, how about that? Oh, shit, I can't overtake. Okay, all right, whatever. Yeah. But okay, so that was my rant. It was a little bit about everything, and maybe I should also mention that I have a whole bunch of cars queued up. The future is looking bright. Yeah, literally, the days are getting longer and longer now. I have BMW iX coming up. I have i4 coming up soon. I have EQB queued up. Those are the cars I've queued up recently. I also have the Polestar 2 after acceleration boost. But then I also need to book up a whole bunch of other cars like the MG Marvel and the BYD Tang, the Hongqi, and yeah, a whole bunch of other cars. Wait, okay, I can hammer this one. Yeah, this is plenty of space. I'm going to show you now. You see here, just overtake, and then done, D-O-N. I wasn't even cutting in front of her because I was hammering so fast. Yeah, barely legal, but that's my middle name. So anyway, that was so nice that you guys want to listen to my well, hang on, how many? You want to listen to my 35-minute TED Talk? Yes, thank you for that. I think I'm gonna end it now, otherwise it will be too long and people won't watch it. But so again, I hope this cleared up a couple of things, because some of you guys might be wondering why is Bjørn bitching so much about this country? Now again, I love Norway. I love Norway, but I also love Thailand, and we can have a little bit of both. You know, it's like. You love your wife, but you can also have a little mistress somewhere else, right? No. Well, how is it again? As a captain of a ship, you always have a woman in every harbor. Is that how it works? No, I'm not like that. Trust me, I'm not like that. I'm a very honest man. All the live stream people, they can confirm I'm an honest man. I help virgin in distress. Virgin in need, all that. You actually don't see it, but many times I try to help people while fast charging them, but I don't bring up the camera and film it and look like a hero. But sometimes I let people struggle a little bit, because I see if it's a man, he's using his phone, he's trying to figure it out, and then many times he figures it out by himself. But sometimes if it's a beautiful woman, then I quickly arrive there, even before she managed to press anything on the phone, and then I help her to make it work also. Yeah, nothing to do, no sexist anything. It's just that sometimes I have time to help them, and sometimes I might not, but of course I want to help people. Yeah, so anyway, again, it was a random, guys, it was just kidding. Okay, don't worry, I was just kidding. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.